Sports at Pepperdine University. Tonight's broadcast is a production of the Pepperdine University Department of Athletics, Cable Entertainment, and Big Ten Plus. Welcome into Firestone Fieldhouse on the Pepperdine campus in Malibu. I'm Al Epstein as the Waves get ready to begin the 2026 season with high expectations. Ranked number 4 in the nation, will take on the Spartans from St. Thomas Aquinas in a non-conference match on opening night. Our players to watch on this first match of the season for Pepperdine, the All-American number 14, Ryan Barnett. He was first-team All-American last year, 6'5" redshirt senior out of West Hampton Beach, New York. Last year, 402 kills, hit .338, and had 47 service aces. Certainly a player to watch. Number 14, Ryan Barnett of Pepperdine. As the crowd continues to file in, and for St. Thomas Aquinas, they have an excellent outside hitter in Karen Verstegen, the 6'3" junior out of Sittard, Netherlands. He is the preseason co-player of the year in the East Coast Conference, a Division II conference, and high expectations. Although he was injured quite a bit last year, he is figured to have a big season this year. Hey, you see Jonathan Winder, the 2025 NPSF Coach of the Year, just signed a brand new contract going through 2030. And for St. Thomas Aquinas, there you see Tiago Lopez in his third year. His first 2 seasons, he has won conference championships. And for St. Thomas Aquinas out of Spark Hill, New York, about 25 miles northwest out of New York metropolitan area, and it was about 30 degrees later tonight back on the East Coast. As you take a look at the Spartans, who last year went 16-9 and finished 6-0, winning the conference championship in that East Coast Conference. St. Thomas Aquinas, Robert Wesleyan, along with Dominican out of New York, and American International. Pepperdine, they're picked second in the NPSF behind UCLA and the number 4 team in the nation. The Spartans have 4 players returning off last year's team, and Pepperdine has a number of players returning off last year's team. They won 21-10, 7-5 tied for third with Brigham Young, went all the way to the national semifinals before losing to Long Beach State, the eventual national champion. But the Waves won the NPSF tournament last year that got them into the NCAAs, and we're going to get a net against Pepperdine, or as the ball went out of bounds, and a point to St. Thomas Aquinas. First ever meeting between the 2 schools and our officials for this evening's match, as we have a pretty good crowd coming in on this Friday night. A little bit cool in Southern California, but a lot of sunshine and blue skies. Shannon Macias, the up official, and Mel Catano is the down official, and the Waves tied at 1 apiece. The Waves last year, as you see Cole Hartke, second-team All-American and the NPSF Freshman of the Year. He's 6'10", out of Barrington, Illinois, and another player expected to have a tremendous season. He had 359 kills last year, hit .299, and you can put him in the back row at 6'10". Kept in play by St. Thomas Aquinas, and a point for the Spartans. The Division II school coming out to the West Coast. Here you see Verstegen, very talented player. Big international influence on this St. Thomas Aquinas. In fact, 9 different countries represented on this roster. Pepperdine on the offense. Polo Mas on the back set and driving it, and the Waves get the point. Cole Hartke as the ball was touched. But for St. Thomas Aquinas, they have players from Sweden, Peru, Puerto Rico, Belgium, Portugal, Kazakhstan, Netherlands, Germany, and Brazil. And so for Tiago Lopez in his third year, he's originally from Portugal, and he's developed a great pipeline internationally, and he's very high on this year's team. This team has to play USC tomorrow night. Well, Pepperdine will host Damon out of New York, another Division II school. And we'll have it on Big Ten Plus at 3 p.m. so an afternoon match. You see number 7, Jakob Schwartz, the 6'7" freshman. Both these teams playing a number of younger players. Waves did have an exhibition match about a week ago and beat Calgary in all 4 sets. But for Pepperdine, they go to Hartke, who pounds it. How many teams have 2 6'10" outside hitters and as athletic and as mobile as they are? Nice set by Polomats, the transfer from Purdue Fort Wayne, averaged under 9 assists per set last year. He's 6'6", and just a key player for Pepperdine with so many talented players. For Pepperdine, one of the keys, a brand new center in Andre Polomats. And where's number 5 for Pepperdine? You see Ryan Barnett, and there is Grant Lamoureux, the 6'10" redshirt freshman out of Clemens, North Carolina. 2 years ago, he was the National Player of the Year. He's a top player on the U.S. national team, and he's a top beach volleyballer as well. That falls short. And I think for St. Thomas Aquinas, the keys coming into this match, when you talk with the coaches, they will say just to come out and play hard and compete. I think a couple of keys for the Spartans, how well they handle Pepperdine's serve and to attack Pepperdine's block with a lot of quick attacks in the middle. Great effort there by the Spartans. Tremendous effort for the point to Pepperdine. But how about Verstegen diving past the end line and trying to keep it in play? 6-3 Pepperdine, set 1. But for the Spartans, attack the middle with a quick hit, and then also the back row attack where they can try to find one-on-one blockers against Pepperdine that has such great size. Ball going out of bounds. The Waves starting tonight. Ryan Barnett, Cole Harkey, and Grant Lamoureux on the outside. Noe Mate along with James Eady in the middle. The center, Andre Polomats, and the libero, Zach Chapin, the 6'1" redshirt freshman out of Manhattan Beach. For the Spartans, as the Waves go on offense, and pounding it down. Lamoureux able to get the kill. Big year expected from the talented redshirt freshman. For the Spartans, they will start on the outside. Verstegen along with Schwartz and DeVenter. In the middle, David Weiss along with Louis Gratt. The libero, Ivalo Todorov, to round out the lineup for the Spartans. Waves off to a good start, 7-5. There you see Jonathan Winder, former Pepperdine All-American, helped lead the Waves to a national title in 2005. And Jonathan was a 6'8" setter back then. He was a 4-time All-American 2007. He was the National Player of the Year. 8-5, the serve comes up short. Waves, a strong serving team last year, outaced their opponents 195-128. For St. Thomas Aquinas, a good ball handling team, strong blocking team. Ball sent over, goes out of bounds, and a point for St. Thomas Aquinas. First ever meeting between the two schools. We talk about the Spartans being a good blocking team. Their middle blocker, David Weiss, led the nation in blocks per set last year, 1.289. The 6'7" junior from Germany who had 107 blocks. Waves once again, Lamoureux, 9-6 Pepperdine. It is the best 3 out of 5. First 4 sets to 25. Must win by 2. If it goes to a set 5, you play to 15. And again, you must win by 2. There is no ceiling. Grant Lamoureux, you're going to hear all about him. Pepperdine team is absolutely loaded. Nice receive as Verstegen goes cross court. But that all began with the ball handling of St. Thomas Aquinas. Waves last year were 14-4 at home, 7-6 on the road. For St. Thomas Aquinas, went 12-2 at home last year, 4-7 on the road, and a service error. Of course, if you're the Spartans, you have to take some chances. Try to put Pepperdine on the defensive. 10-7 Pepperdine in set number 1. Jonathan Winder, prior after coming to Pepperdine, was a head coach at Fresno State women's volleyball for 4 years. He was an assistant at Washington women's volleyball for a couple seasons, also the head coach of the beach volleyball program at Washington. And there you see Jonathan Winter being covered by the official who played with the Waves from 2005 through 2008. Waves, the set comes up short. Well, this timing, you figure first match of the year, trying to iron things out, get the chemistry and the timing, and put it all together. Last year the Waves hit 330, and you see the missed time play there. And defensively, the Waves held their opponents to a 263 hitting percentage. Waves recorded 12 shutouts, were shut out twice. For St. Thomas Aquinas, they had 12 shutouts. They were shut out 7 times. Hit 254 as a team, but it's all about their defense. Held their opponents to a 191 hitting percentage. All right, the Spartans on the offense of the block up front. And getting the point is Weiss. David Weiss comes up with a point again. The nation's leader in blocks. He had 107 for blocks per set. For the Spartans, we got Marcus Frank, the setter, another returning starter, preseason all-conference wearing number 4. Nice effort by the Spartans, but the ball comes up short. Todorov, the libero, another returning starter, wearing number 1. As you see Weiss along the sidelines. 12-10 Pepperdine. Now you knew the Spartans were going to come out with great intensity and energy, excited to get their season underway like Pepperdine. And the Waves will have to match that intensity. And so far the Spartans have been battling, but a service ace. Again, the Waves, a dominant serving team last year. 21-10. Of course, there's great history with the Pepperdine men's volleyball program. They went to Verstegen. And there you see Tiago Lopez in his 3rd year. He knows the West Coast. He's a former assistant coach at San Francisco women's volleyball team from 2014 through 2016, and he's a graduate of USF in 2012. He played internationally a number of years ago. Nice receive. They go outside, driving it. Kept in play by Pepperdine on the other side. And the point is coming up for the Spartans. And that is Jakob Schwartz, 6'7" freshman from Mainz, Germany. It will be Schwartz serving 13-11, and the Spartans hanging tough. Waves go to the outside, tap. Oh, what a block up front. Coming up, Frank, the setter, who's 6'5", so he's got good size. You see the Waves setter, brand new setter. And Andre Polomats plays on the Serbian junior national team. A lot of international experience, wearing number 5, Waves over the middle, and James Eady. 14-12, Pepperdine leading. For James Eady coming up big in set number 1. Nice quick hitter against that defense of St. Thomas Aquinas. We're just outside of the New York metropolitan area, located in Spark Hill, New York. Population 1,500, so a small suburb. Waves on the attack. Ball pinballed. Diving save back there by Verstegen. Sent over by the Spartans. Waves over the middle. James Eady. We get a timeout. Pepperdine 15. Been remodeling Firestone, and it's still going to be a big asset to the campus. The Mountain at Mullen Park, they've been working on it for almost 2-3 years now. Very exciting. And a cross-court shot. And Elon Tapper comes up with the kill. He's 6'1", out of Garfield, New Jersey. Another first-year player. Elon Tapper, pretty good athlete. 15-13, Pepperdine with the lead. Waves moving left to right in their white, blue, and orange. And for St. Thomas Aquinas. They joust at the net, won by Pepperdine, and then up front the block. The Waves get the point. You see number 4 for the Waves, Noe Mate, 6'7" freshman from Switzerland. In a lot of international experience, boy, how athletics are changing. Let's see if there's going to be a question by Tiago Lopez, the head coach of the Spartans. Take a look at Marcus Frank, the setter. If it was touched, and apparently it's going to be a challenge on this play. A joust. Verstegen up front against Mate. And then Frank, the setter. And the Waves were given the point, but St. Thomas Aquinas says it might have been touched last by Pepperdine. Let's take another look. This is Frank, the setter, drives it. Maybe going to signal the point to Pepperdine. Let's take another look at angle. Good joust up front. That was Polo Mas, the setter for Pepperdine. The block is there. Maybe touching the net. That's the only thing we can see. The ball stay in bounds when the Waves blocked it. That's the other thing. Okay, so there's the joust. Ball kept in play. They go to Frank, the setter. And yes, I mean, the ball dropped in, but the Spartans are saying no. Maybe there'd been a net. 16-13 Pepperdine. The call in the court was a point to Pepperdine. Each coach gets 3 challenges. If you win your challenge, you keep it. If you lose it, you're down 1. If it goes to a set 5, each coach will get an additional challenge. So everybody taking a look at this. You know, in the past, you would look at Pepperdine's or UCLA's or SC's roster or BYU. They'd have 25, 26, 27 players. But as the game has changed so much, there's the joust. Looks like pretty clean by Pepperdine, at least on the initial block up front, won by the Waves. Let's see, any touch? I know the net is moving. Well, we'll see. But next year, teams will be limited to just 18 players on their roster, which is going to open up a lot more players for a number of schools. Currently, there are 61 schools playing Division I men's volleyball. 37 are Division II schools and 24 are Division I schools. And there are now 4 Division II conferences, 4 Division I conferences playing D1. Great Lakes Valley Conference, the newest conference. There are now 8 total. They're going to have a do-over on this. So that's a win for Coach Lopez. He's pretty excited about it. Jonathan Winter getting the explanation. Pepperdine apparently is going to take a timeout, so the score reverts to 15-13. Pepperdine leading. Louis Gratton, number 8, the 6'5" first-year player in middle from Royal, Germany. Well, when you talk to Tiago Lopez, he's excited about this team. He thinks they're even better than last year's team that won the conference going away. If the way he's going to make a few changes coming out as Ford Harmon, the transfer from Long Beach State. They list him as a 6-foot redshirt freshman. A libero outside hitter. So that's a win for Coach Lopez. Won 2 conference championships before coming to St. Thomas Aquinas. He was an assistant at Southern New Hampshire on women's volleyball team, an assistant at Arkansas Little Rock women's volleyball for 4 years. As the Waves go on the offensive. And Ryan Barnett with the kill. Waves off to a great start. 16-13 Pepperdine. That was Ryan Barnett, first team All-American. What a year he had last year. James Eady serving with the jump floater. They go to the quick attack and able to score. Again for this team, and that is Louis Gratt, the freshman, able to get the kill. Going to attack in the middle against Pepperdine, solo block, and then going to the back row certainly will be keys for St. Thomas Aquinas. And so far, they've done a nice job. They come up with a good block up front. And that is David Weiss, number 15, 6'7" junior out of Euten, Germany. Again, a lot of international experience. When you recruit internationally and get players who play professional leagues and a little bit older and have a lot of experience. 17-15 service error, and Pepperdine will get it back. In fact, for St. Thomas Aquinas, they've only started playing men and women's volleyball in 2023-24. This is just the third year overall playing competitive volleyball. On both the men and women's side, outside Waves able to cover that. They go to Hartke, who drives it. Picked up by the Spartans, and then Verstegen, and that goes out of bounds, and Pepperdine will get the point. 18-15 Waves. Firestone Fieldhouse, that seats about 3,100 on this Friday evening. A pretty good crowd. All things considered, so much excitement around the Pepperdine men's volleyball program. We mentioned great history with the program. 5 national titles, second most all time, only to UCLA that has 21, and there's Hartke. 19-15 Waves. We get a timeout taken by St. Thomas Aquinas. The Waves lead in set 1. 19-15, you're watching the NPSF on Big Ten Plus. Since 1980, as I put it up here at Firestone Fieldhouse, you see the crowd. We had talked to Coach Lopez, and I said, do you have a lot of family and friends here? You see some of the Pepperdine fans. He said, well, not really, but tomorrow night, the president of St. Thomas Aquinas will be at the match tomorrow at USC because his daughter goes to Southern Cal. A little more pressure on St. Thomas Aquinas and with the Trojans tomorrow night that are ranked number 5 in the nation. Waves, who play in the Mountain Pacific Sports Federation, arguably the toughest conference in the country. Waves a strong serve, but the ball handling has been very good by St. Thomas Aquinas, and then the kill is there by Frank, the 6'5" senior out of Brazil, transferred in from Central State. You see the setter, who last year averaged just under 9 assists per set at 27 service aces. He's offensive-minded. He has 61 kills last year, and he's been very active early in this match off the blocks, and the way he's able to get the point. Go Hartke, 2016 Pepperdine. Waves are a big second in the NBSF. They've got 10 schools. It is the largest conference in the nation. You've got UCLA, they're currently ranked number 1. You've got Pepperdine, Southern Cal, Brigham Young, Stanford, a number of Division II schools. Joust again, this time won by the Spartans, and able to get the point. That's Verstegen once again. 2017, Spartans hanging tough. They get a little bit of a run here. Could certainly change things. Again, first matches, you're going to try to iron things out, timing, amongst other things. There's Noe Mate, the middle blocker, and Hartke. Off to a great start. The Waves sitting 533, the Spartans 316, and Hartke already with 5 kills on 7 swings. No attack here. There you see the 6'10" NBSF freshman of the year, second team All-American. And a banner season. 359 kills at 299, 47 aces. What's amazing, you can put Hartke, 6'10" in the back row. He had 113 digs last year and batted over nicely by the Spartans. That goes on the outside to Hartke. Pepperdine 22, St. Thomas Aquinas 17. The Waves will get the ball back and serving. Pepperdine, Ryan Graves will also be a setter, the 6'4" junior out of Irvine, California. Spartans on the offensive. Waves able to keep it in play. Back to Harkey with a tap. Knocked down up front by Weiss. Here comes the back row, and the shot attempt, and no good by Verstegen. And so the Spartans might challenge this. Let's see. Most of the time, the coaches will talk to their players and ask them, what do you see? All right, 23-17, Waves trying to go up 1-0. UCLA ranked number 1 in the nation this week. Hawaii second, Long Beach State third, Pepperdine fourth, USC fifth. Waves good ball handling, Hartke cross court. Covered by the Spartans, they go on the backside. Ball tipped up, but the Waves cannot come up with it, and it is Schwartz able to get the point. 23-18, you see Frank, the setter. You see number 11, Elon Tapper, the freshman outside hitter. That's 6'1". 23-18. The point goes to the Spartans. And they will bring it in play. We sit way upstairs, so if there's a challenge or something like that, we're probably the last to know. All right, serving. Spartans, and that one gets away and flies out of bounds. Lorenzo Diaz, the 6'2" freshman out of Portugal. Service here, and it's set point number 1 for Pepperdine. 24-18. Waves at the service line. Tonight a couple of aces and 4 errors. Good top spin on the serve. Spartans over the middle. Waves able to control. They go back row to Hartke, gets the point, and Pepperdine wins. Set number 1, 25-18. Waves take a 1-0 lead. Teams will change sides. We'll get ready for set number 2 in this best 3 out of 5. You are watching the Big Ten Plus to the NBSF on Big Ten Plus. Back with set number 2. Enjoying themselves on this Friday evening. We take a look at some of the highlights being brought to you by University Credit Union. Pepperdine is 579 in the first set, and the Spartans at 280. Waves had 2 aces, only 4 errors. Waves outdug the Spartans 8-4, and blocking up front the Waves a 2-1 advantage. Highlights in the first set, Cole Hartke leading the way with 7 kills on 10 swings, hitting 700, no attack errors. And Grant Lamoureux had 3 kills. Jakob Schwartz had 3 kills, topping the Spartans. As you see, Ivano Todorov, the libero. The Waves, it was a tough, very close first set. And give a lot of credit to the Spartans being so competitive. They're at USC tomorrow night. You see DJ Romar playing some music with the students in attendance. School actually begins on Monday as they had a winter break, and so we expect bigger crowds, maybe even on Sunday when the Waves take on Damon at 3 p.m. We'll have it on Big Ten Plus. You see the Spartans. Verstegen had 3 kills, but hit only 167. We'll see how the Spartans reacted. Did a pretty good job ball handling, receiving Pepperdine's strong serve. Waves, of course, just have to stay focused and play their game. They're so good. You see Lewis Gratt, the 6'5" freshman. Ryan Barnett, our player to watch. Barnett had just 1 kill, only 3 swings. Hartke, the number 1 option early. And there you see Noe Mate, the 6'7" freshman middle blocker out of Switzerland. And how much is the landscape of sports, especially in basketball and in volleyball, the international presence has changed everything. He's recruiting for next year. Have a number of players international. They're all usually ready to play and help the teams over the middle. The quick hit, and that is Mate. And the Waves get the point. They go 1-0 lead. First ever meeting between the two schools. And for St. Thomas Aquinas, it was founded in 1952. It's a small school, enrollment about 1,950 students. The tuition about $40,000 a year, and that one goes out of bounds. Service there, inside out to the Spartans. Pepperdine, founded back in 1937. Enrollment about 8,000 students, but tuition a little over $93,000 a year. They rank in the top 5 in the nation in tuition, but that includes books, so we all know it's not that bad. All right, cross court, covered nicely by the Spartans, tapped over from the back row. That is Verstegen, and nice job by the Spartans again to cover. They go outside with the block. Mate along with Hartke. So Hartke is 6'10", Mate is 6'7". Very physical, athletic middle. As you see, Schwartz being rejected, and the Waves lead 2-1 in set number 2. Waves up 1-0. Waves strong jump serve. Impressed with the ball handling of the Spartans. Vice over the middle. Well executed. St. Thomas Aquinas is going to have a big year. They're going to play SC tomorrow. They're going to play Penn State, College Station. There you see David Weiss. Out of Germany. Spartans a pretty good serving team, and they get themselves an ace. There's 3-2 in favor of St. Thomas Aquinas. Probably the most notable alumni to come out of St. Thomas Aquinas. For those of you who watch Shark Tank, which has been around now for 17 years, well, Barbara Corcoran, one of the sharks on the show, is an alumni at St. Thomas Aquinas. Is the Waves able to get the point. Lamoureux able to get the point, and we're tied at 3. Barbara Corcoran, who was a real estate mogul, sold a real estate company a number of years ago for a cool $70 million, and now one of the sharks on Shark Tank. All right, Wave serving, moving right to left there in their white and blue. Cross court. And nice job. Elon Tapper, number 11, getting some playing time, pretty good athlete. Tapper out of Garfield, New Jersey. 4-3, Spartans in set number 2. Waves go cross court. Nice save back there, and a block up front, but Pepperdine able to score. A nice effort by Schwartz, handling the ball in the back row to keep it in play. And you see Verstegen. We're tied at 4. Wave serving. Hartke, who had 47 aces last year. NPSF Freshman of the Year in one of the toughest, if not the toughest conference in the nation. He took something off of it and able to score. Verstegen could not handle it. You see Cole Hartke, a couple years ago, he was the National High School Player of the Year out of Barrington, Illinois. About 25 miles outside of Chicago. There you see Tiago Lopez, who, above everything else, speaks 4 different languages: English, Spanish, Portuguese, and German. Because with all the players he's got internationally, got to be able to communicate with a lot of different players. Done a nice job with the program. He actually was the head coach of San Francisco's club men's volleyball team for a year or 2. And as we mentioned earlier, an assistant at USF San Francisco women's volleyball program for 2 years, 2014 through 2016. We're tied at 5 in the second set. Waves up 1-0. Waves go over the middle. James Eady. Nice set by Polomas. With all the talent in their Waves, Eady's a returning player. All conference, All-American. Actually, honorable mention. Jacob Riley, the setter, second team All-American. Firing down the line and missing the shot. Schwartz goes out of bounds. 7-5 Pepperdine. And you got Cole Hartke, second-team All-American. Ryan Barnett, first-team All-American. So you have most of those players returning. And then you throw in some freshmen, but the big void, of course, is at the center position, the quarterback. And Ryan Graves and Andre Polomac, especially early, will fall on them. They've got so much talent around them that this team should be so good, especially early. It's going to get very difficult as the schedule, very demanding. UC Irvine, Long Beach State, they go to Hawaii for a couple. Loyola Chicago, pick to win the Midwest Intercollegiate Volleyball Association. They'll play Lewis. Attack air. Is missing that Jakob Schwartz. 3 kills, but he's hitting 0-0-0. 11 swings, 3 attack errors for number 7. Ball popped up. Edie has to set Barnett with the smash hit. 9-6 Pepperdine in the second set. Waves won the first set, 25-18. Waves such a deep, talented team. Number 4 team in the nation. Look inside Malibu in a one-of-a-kind location. The school does overlook the Pacific Ocean, and the weather is usually very good. Ball goes out of bounds, and a point for St. Thomas Aquinas. Population of Malibu, just about 13,000, but it is the home of a lot of rich and famous that you might run into in a restaurant or a market or a shop here along the coast. Of course, today very windy. Of course, they had a lot of rain here last week. Today a nice day, about 65 degrees, a lot of sunshine, blue skies. Of course, they're still feeling the effects in Southern California, those fires a year ago. Trying to rebuild Southern California and Palisades and Altadena, but it affected everybody throughout Southern California. Waves back on offense. Barnett, ooh, the block there. Weiss along with Schwartz. Wow. 9-8, the Waves with the lead. You see Ryan Barnett, first team All-American. The Waves have so many weapons at every position. You're going to get, let's see, a rotation violation against the Spartans. Again, for them, it's their first match, so you're going to have some miscues and getting timing and chemistry and organization. Hey, you see Coach Lopez. I'd be happy with the performance so far. Only down 10-8 in the second set. Waves who were 14-4 at home last year, won the NPSF tournament last year here in Malibu. This season, the NPSF tournament will be at Brigham Young, April 22nd through the 25th. All 10 teams will participate. The NCAA tournament will be May 9th through the 11th at UCLA. The following this year, in the next 2 years, the NCAA tournament will be held in Las Vegas. Things really changing. 11-9 as the Spartans once again, Frank, able to get the point. There you see Weiss. Well, he's a good-looking middle. The overpass. Spartans get a good look. Schwartz goes cross-court and gets the point. Officials for tonight's match, the up official, Shannon Macias, and the down official, Mel Cayentano. UCLA starts their season tonight, hosting McKendree. Brigham Young is home against St. Francis, Pennsylvania. Concordia out of the NPSF, home against Rockhurst. Team Vic to win the Great Lakes Valley Conference. Is able to get the point. Cole Hartke and Menlo, another Division II school playing in the NPSF, is hosting a good Lewis team. They are picked third in the Midwest Intercollegiate Volleyball Association. All right, Waves on the jump serve, booming serve by Barnett, but well controlled by the Spartans, but the Waves able to get the point, putting a lot of pressure on St. Thomas Aquinas. You see the freshman, Elon Tapper. Block up front. 13-10 Waves. Set 2, the service air, side out to the Spartans.
To the net, point, Spartan.
St. Thomas Aquinas, you might ask who he is. He's actually, or was, a medieval philosopher and theologian. A school named after St. Thomas Aquinas, founded in 1952. Waves go to the outside. And Grand Lamoureux gets the point, 14-11. Waves now hitting 500 for the match, and the Spartans at 179. One of the keys to St. Thomas Aquinas is their ball handling, able to handle Pepperdine's serve, and so far they've done a terrific job. They're giving Pepperdine all they can handle in this match. Mistimed, and the point goes to the Waves. Verstegen. It was Schwartz trying to set. Waves up 15-11. We are going to get an official's timeout. Waves lead 1-0 up in the second set, 15-11. You're watching the NBSF on Big Ten Plus. California as the Waves up 15-11 in the second set. And you look inside at Firestone Fieldhouse. Glad you could be with us. I'm Al Epstein on this Friday. Hope everybody had a great holiday season. Looking forward to 2026. We certainly live in interesting times these days. There you see Kieran Verstegen, the preseason co-player of the year, wearing number 9 for the Spartans. The 6'3" junior. 15-11 Pepperdine in set number 2. Waves won the first set 25-18. Kept in play by the Spartans. Waves able to control it. They go cross court. Batted over by Hartke. And volleyed back by the Spartans. Waves come up with it. They go outside to Lamoureux. Pepperdine 16 and St. Thomas Aquinas 11. Aiden Toon in to serve for Pepperdine. 6'1" junior out of Honolulu. Toon possesses the high toss. Good strong jump serve. Spartans blocked down by Pepperdine. They come up, Hartke and Edie. 17-11 Waves. Pepperdine on a 4-0 run here in the second set, and up 17-11. And with the size of Pepperdine, 6'10", Hartke, Lamoureux 6'10", Edie 6'8". Frank on the back set. And Schwartz shot attempt is long, and a point to Pepperdine. We will get a timeout as Tiago Lopez, the head coach of the Spartans, wants to slow things down a bit. The Waves leading 18-11 in set number 2. Up 1-0. You're watching the NBSF on Big Ten. 5-18. Waves serving, moving right to left in their white and blue. And the Spartans in their black and white. And the shot comes up short, and the Waves get the point. Now in a 6-0 run, 19-11. So there are 8 conferences now playing Division I men's volleyball, 4 Division II and 4 Division I, but some of those Division I conferences like the NBSF, the MIVA, and the Eastern Intercollegiate Volleyball Association have Division II schools there. Waves are going to get the point. Those steel beams and lights do sit rather low, but they are in play. As long as the ball comes back on the same side, you can play it. 20-11 Waves on a 7-0 run. So you have the Big West Conference. Long Beach State picked to win that league. Eastern Intercollegiate Volleyball Association. Penn State picked to win that conference. Frank Setting goes outside, firing away. Elon Tapper, boy, he's got a powerful arm at 6'1" and goes way up the ladder. So in the Midwest Intercollegiate Volleyball Association, Loyola Chicago picked to win that league. Conference Carolinas, Belmont Abbey in the Mount Pacific Sports Federation, UCLA, the top team. In the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference, Fort Valley State is the favorite. Northeast Conference, co-favorites Damon and St. Francis, Pennsylvania. And Damon will be here on Sunday at 3 p.m. We'll have it on Big Ten Plus. We're going to get a challenge, maybe. The ball did go out of bounds, and a point to St. Thomas Aquinas. Waves had an 8-0 run, and then the quick attack, James Eady. So the Northeast Conference, Damon and St. Francis, Pennsylvania. In the Great Lakes Valley Conference, the newest first-year conference playing Division I men's volleyball, Rockhurst is the team picked to win that league, and they're playing at Concordia here in Southern California, down in Orange County tonight. 21-12 Pepperdine, they come up short. Harkey serve, looking to take something off of it. The capacity of Firestone Fieldhouse, 3,100. So Gustavo Leinert in the lineup for the Spartans, and in the serve with the jump floater. Waves on the offensive backside out of the back row. And that one hitting the antenna, and that's out of bounds, and a point to the Spartans. 21-14. You see Verstegen. Santiago Valenza, 6'4" sophomore, outside hitter, wearing number 16. St. Thomas Aquinas, they're going to have a terrific year this year. Waves go to the outside, covered nicely by the Spartans, but Verstegen just missed it. 22-14. Kieran, a top player in the East Coast Conference. So for the East Coast Conference, because they only have 4 schools not eligible for Division II NCAA postseason play. Over the middle. Waves able to cover it. Nice job. Batted. Too many hits, and a point for St. Thomas Aquinas. Arlo Lindqvist, 6'1" freshman setter from Stockholm, Sweden. Number 10 in the lineup for the Spartans. And Serbian Louis Grat, the 6'5" freshman from Germany. We mentioned the big international presence for St. Thomas Aquinas. The Waves cannot get it over. The ball hit one of the fixtures and threw the timing off, and a point to the Spartans. You see the lights and the steel beams. It should not be a problem in the new arena, the Mountain in Mullen Park. There you see Cole Hartke, 8 kills leading Pepperdine. Lamoureux with 6, Eady with 4. This is Barnett driving it and getting the point. Schwartz has 4 kills, Tapper with 4.
Checking in for Pepperdine is number 2, Zach Shankman.
Verstegen with just 3, but 5 attack errors on 13 swings, hitting a minus 154. Of course, St. Thomas Aquinas is going to be good this year. Kieran has to be a big player for this Spartans team. Punched over, was it touched? Yes, and a point to St. Thomas Aquinas. 23-17 Waves. Pepperdine won the first set, 25-18. You see the bench of the Spartans. And getting a great experience at USC tomorrow. Spartans playing a number of players back in Schwartz. Also for St. Thomas Aquinas is Reinert. And it will be Frank, the setter, to bring it into play. Spartans going left to right. Marine, gold, and black. Actually, maroon, gold, and black are the colors. A nice jump floater in the front court. Barnett on the other side, able to push it over. Pepperdine 24, and St. Thomas Aquinas 17. Set point number 1 for the Waves. Waves serving. Lomas, the setter, with the delivering the serve on the outside. Verstegen comes back to Pepperdine, firing away as Hartke and the Waves win set number 2, 25-17, and take a 2-0 lead in this best 3 out of 5 as the team will change sides. Waves hitting 500, the Spartans 102. Hartke leading Pepperdine with 9 kills. We'll come back with set number 3. You're watching the NBSF on Big Ten Plus. Big Ten Plus, as you see the scores, Waves up 2-0. The highlights in set number 2 being brought to you by University Credit Union. Waves hitting 5-12 for the match. The Spartans 102. And those highlights brought to you by University Credit Union. As we get ready for set number 3, the Waves will be moving left to right. Well, we're going to continue a few more. As you see David Weiss in the middle, who led the nation in blocks per set. 1.298 and had 107 blocks. The 6'7" junior from Germany, and he's playing well tonight. Weiss with 3 kills, hitting 750 and has 2 blocks. And we take a look at the upcoming schedule being brought to you by Pepperdine's Graziadio Business School. The Waves home against Damon on Sunday, 3 p.m. And then top-ranked UC Irvine team out of the Big West. They're ranked number 6. And then a big road trip at Loyola Chicago and Lewis University. Loyola Chicago picked to win the Midwest Intercollegiate Volleyball Association. And that's the upcoming schedule being brought to you by Pepperdine's Graziadio Business School. All right, Waves up 2 sets to none. Guys, you can be with us on this Friday night. If you took a peek at the semifinal college football game, and Indiana just rolling past Oregon, setting up maybe an Indiana-Miami, a Florida national championship a week from Monday. All right, Waves serving to start set 3. They go over the middle, and Weiss with the kill, and gives the Spartans a 1-0 lead. Out in the 30s, back on the East Coast, cloudy. St. Thomas Aquinas from Spark Hill, New York. Part of Rockland County. Just outside of New York metro area, about 25 miles northwest. Waves able to tie him 1 in Lamoureux.
Ryan Barnett is here for the Waves.
Talking with Jonathan Winder about Graham Lamoureux. He mentioned he's a lot like former national player and Olympian Sean Rooney, who helped lead the Waves to a national title in 2005. He's got that type of talent, wearing number 9 for Pepperdine. Waves up 2-1. See Lamoureux, Hartke. For Pepperdine, who had 12 shutouts or sweeps last year. Ball popped up on the outside. Schwartz, ball tipped by Pepperdine, returning it. They go on the other side. That is Verstegen, and the ball goes off the hands of the point for St. Thomas Aquinas. Mentioned Graham Lamoureux. His mom, Michelle, played volleyball at Virginia Tech. He's out of West Forsyth High School, where he was a National Player of the Year. He's a top beach volleyball player on top of everything else. Won a state championship. Number 9, Grant Lamoureux. Waves go to the outside. Hartke gets a touch. They go back to Lamoureux. Kept in play by the Spartans on the other side. Schwartz hits it. Covered by Pepperdine. That's Hartke volleys it back. St. Thomas Aquinas back row. Verstegen. Ball popped up and goes out of bounds. And Verstegen will get the point, and the Spartans take a 3-2 lead. Waves have Jacob Riley, the second-team All-American, back in the lineup, the 6-foot senior out of Cypress, Texas, had a banner season. Transferred in from Concordia down in Orange County, where he played for 2 years. Division II school. And for Riley, he led Pepperdine with 200 digs. Well, we're tied at 3. That's James Eady. Pepperdine playing the Mountain Pacific Sports Federation, but in other sports, they're playing the West Coast Conference. The likes of Gonzaga, St. Mary's, San Francisco, Santa Clara. As you know all about Gonzaga, Oregon State, Washington State, and the WCC. In fact, Pepperdine men's basketball team is home tomorrow evening against San Francisco at 5 p.m., and we'll have it on ESPN+. All right, 4-3 Waves able to get the point. Waves up 2-0. For St. Thomas Aquinas, very competitive, playing very well. A block up front by the Waves, Harkey and Edie. The welcoming committee in Malibu. 5-3 Waves. Our officials for this evening's match, Shannon Macias, the up official, and Mel Cayentano, the down official. A couple of veteran officials who work out here on the Pacific Coast. All right, Waves serving. Going to get a whistle. They're being stopped. We're going to have a rotation violation the second time for St. Thomas Aquinas. The Waves will get the point, 6-3. And the Waves on a 3-0 run. Pepperdine hitting .511 for the match. The Spartans 105. Waves have 27 kills on 45 swings, only 4 attack errors. Harkey with 9 kills. Lamoureux with 7. Barnett with 4. Let's serve over the middle, Weiss, and able to score. 6-4. Waves up. Pepperdine won the first set 25-18, and the second set 25-17. Both sets very competitive. And Damon, who comes in here on Sunday, they're playing down at UC San Diego tonight. And UC San Diego ranked 10th in the nation, but Damon won the Northeast Conference tournament and went to the NCAA, the Division II school, as a service ace, and it's 6-5. You see Weiss. So Damon has everybody back from last year. And they're a very good team. You just see Jonathan Winder along the sidelines, assisted by Matthew Pollack, Luke Reynolds, and Will Kraft. So an excellent coaching staff. And for Jonathan Winder, the MPSF Coach of the Year last year, just signed an extension on his contract to 2030. So congratulations to him and his family. Giving the Waves great stability in years to come. Over the middle. Waves up. Polomaz sets and getting the point. And Lamoureux able to score. 6-10. Who's got 2 6-10 pins? Probably no one other than Pepperdine. You just don't see it. SC, who the Spartans will play tomorrow night, has 2 7-footer middles, 2 of them, and they're really good. All right, 7-5 Pepperdine. Some serve comes up short. Well, special thanks to our entire Game On Entertainment crew, our directors tonight, Shona Barony, producing Archie Coruscani, Kristen Elizondo, and Christian Soler. And special thanks to Kelly Nugent out of the Pepperdine Athletics Communications Department for all her help and hard work. All right, Spartans on the back row. And the shot able to score. The Spartans, you can see Verstegen. They like to use him out of the back row. 6'3", excellent athlete. And we're even at 7. Spartans serving. Boy, the high toss took a little bit off. Waves over the middle. 80 pounds it, but covered by the Spartans. Schwartz with the hit. And then the Waves able to score. Polomaz, the setter. Remember, he's 6'6". He was at Purdue Fort Wayne last year, averaged just under 9 assists per set. And for Polomaz, a lot of international experience. He is from Serbia and played a lot of international volleyball makes a big difference to add the age and experience as opposed to trying to get a first-year player out of high school to have an immediate impact. Not the way teams and schools are going these days. A&C Tapper once again, number 11, 9-7. Spartans down by only 2. A good test for both teams to get some work in. Been practicing against each other for weeks. Waves able to score. Strong serve by Lamoureux. You see Coach Lopez played internationally himself, the graduate of San Francisco in 2012. With all his international recruiting, he speaks 4 languages. He might have to add a 5th or 6th. Got a great pipeline to Europe. The blocks up front. Edie along with Hartke. Megan Polomans, the setter, helping out. This Tapper being denied again. He's 6'1", going against Edie at 6'8". Polomans at 6'6". Back in, Santiago Valença, 6'4", sophomore from Portugal, Lisbon. In the way, strong serve, back row, and firing away, but he goes out of bounds. Verstegen with attack here. Verstegen's getting some pretty good looks. He's just missing, although he does lead the team with 7 kills, but he's hitting only 105. 6 attack errors. 12-7 Pepperdine. And the Waves on a 5-0 run. And they get an ace. Grant Lamoureux on the U.S. national team. Waves just touching the surface. Jump serve, great location, top spin. Clemens, North Carolina. Another booming serve. That's a pair of aces. Waves with 7 aces, nearly 10 errors. That's outstanding. 14-7 Pepperdine. Now on a 7-0 run. You talk with coaches, they will tell you aces to error ratio they'd like to see 1 to 2, 1 to 3. So if you get 4 aces, he's got trip aces. Lamoureux and the Waves on an 8-0 run take a 15-7 lead. We get a timeout. Waves up 2-0 leading in the third. We'll come back. You're watching the MBSF on Big Ten Block. As they set the goal, Hartke, the 6'10 sophomore, the second team All-American. Nice set there by Ryan Barnett of all people, coming out of the back row. Boy, Barnett does everything. Van Polomans setting Barnett, but he chose to go to Hartke. So nice passing by the Waves. And call Hartke on University Credit Union play of the match. All right, 15-7 Pepperdine. Waves up 2-0. I mentioned the aces to error ratio. So if you have 4 aces and 12 errors, that's still pretty good. That's 1 to 3. 2 aces, maybe 6 errors, still very good. All right, Waves keep it in play on the backside, firing away. Hartke and gets it. And the Waves continue a 9-0 run and up 16-7. However, with that all being said about aces to error ratio, I did a match a couple years ago in Pepperdine playing Long Beach State. And Long Beach State had 1 ace and 28 service errors and still won the match. They hit 440, but they gave away a lot of points. Waves with another bullet. The serving really coming around. Lamoureux, his 5th ace of the night. Got 8 kills, 2 digs, and 2 blocks. Booming serve, and the Waves on a 10-0 run. Boy, up until now, the Spartans have done a great job handling Pepperdine's serve, but here in the third set, it's been a little bit different. And the Waves are going to put a lot of pressure on a number of teams with their great serve. 2027, University of Pacific will come back and joined the NPSF. They played men's volleyball for 21 years, dropped the sport 13 years ago. They're going to bring it back next year as Lamoureux delivers another ace. Wow. Waves up 18-7, and Grant Lamoureux rolling. He's in a nice rhythm. And his booming serve. Waves on a 11-0 run. 6'10 freshman, red shirt. 18-7. Waves won the first set, 25-18. Second set, 25-17. Both very competitive. All right, Lamoureux rocks and fires, but it comes up short. 18-8. That snaps the 11-0 run. So at the University of Pacific coming into the conference, it'll give the league 11 schools. That starts January 1st, 2027. Mentioned Pacific. It dropped the sport 13 years ago, but the new president said we want to get back into it, and hopefully a lot more schools will follow. It's a great sport. All right, firing away, Lamoureux. Covered back there, Todorov.
Swing by the Spartans goes in the net.
Comes up short, 19-8 Pepperdine. All right, Aiden Toon will come in to serve for the Waves. Pepperdine Damon on Sunday at 3 p.m. We'll have it on Big Ten Plus. A really strong Division II school. St. Thomas Aquinas, despite down 2-0 and trailing in set 3, is going to have a terrific year. They have a very good team. I'm very impressed with their team. Their ball handling, their striking ability. David Weiss in the middle. A lot of good young talent and 4 returning starters. The heavy favorite to win the East Coast Conference once again. They won the last 2 under head coach Tiago Lopez. 19-9 Waves. The quick hitter, Polomas. Polomas able to score at 6-6. Just read the defense. And of course, if teams just have to double the outside, there's just no other defense that you can look at when you play Pepperdine. They've got so many weapons. This could be a banner year. They have not won a national title since 2005. As Hartke's shot comes up short, 20-9. Of course, UCLA won the titles in 23-24. Long Beach State defeated UCLA last year, but UCLA in 23-24 capturing the crown, but they have not won a national title since 2006. It's been a while under John Speraw. Long Beach State, the defending national champions. They have a new coach, Alan Knipe, retiring. Not much more he can do. Won 3 national titles, played on a national championship team in Long Beach State in 1992. Players give up the point. They challenge this. Take a look. Point was given to St. Thomas Aquinas. You can see the little green card. Each coach gets 3 challenges. If you win your challenge, you keep it. If you lose it, you're down 1. If they go to a 5th set, each coach gets additional challenge. Okay, let's see the back set. The net is moving, Barnett with the hit. Let's take another look. Verstegen was there. Can he touch the net? Maybe Weiss to touch it. Another angle. Great job by our camera crews. Our director, Jonah Barony. They're saying he was over the net. Let's see.
Previous play, the floor is hit.
Another look.
Pepperdine challenged the previous play.
Maybe going up might have touched the net. Moving just slightly. Maybe the hand. Oh yeah, the elbow, the right elbow might have touched the net. Verstegen, great job by our camera crew. I mean, really good. Now what they're looking at is a different set of cameras. It is different angles. They can rewind it. Stop action. 20-11 to Pepperdine. Waves ranked number 4 in the nation. Take a look at the team comparison. Theme brought to you by 7-2 Indoor Golf. 31-23 kills. Aces 10-2, a big difference. We talked about the ability of the Spartans able to handle the serve and then the blocking the Waves up big at 8-3. Those comparisons brought to you by 7-2 Indoor Golf. All right, the point will be reversed. They had given the point to St. Thomas Aquinas, so there was a net. That's all we can surmise way upstairs. So 21-10 Pepperdine. It was tied at 7. And the Waves are going on a 14-3 run, including 11 straight points. And that is Schwartz with a nice shot cross court, gets the kill. He's got 5 kills tonight. Verstegen with 8, Weiss with 5 and a couple of blocks. Waves overall 15 blocks to 5. Noe Mate has 4. The freshman middle from Switzerland. 21-11. All right, the Waves bring in Zach Chapin, the libero, the redshirt freshman out of Manhattan Beach. At Miracosta High School, always a powerhouse when it comes to volleyball. Jump serve, another ace for Pepperdine. They're 11 of the match and only 11 errors. That's a great ratio. 1-1. The Spartans, 2 aces, 9 errors. So here in the third set, the serve has made a big difference. 23-11. The Spartans 23-11 Pepperdine. Spartans will be at USC, number 5 team in the nation tomorrow night. Waves home against Damon on Sunday. 3 p.m. we'll have it on Big Ten Plus. 23-12. Service here, you see Chapin. They just have about 7 redshirt freshmen. Again, their roster last year was about 27, 28 players, but that's being reduced by the NCAA. That goes out of bounds, and we'll have match point number 1, 24-12.
Waves. With the chip on your feet, it's match point Pepperdine.
Pepperdine at the service line and really controlled the third set with their serve. They probably got 6, 7, maybe 8 aces of their 11 in this third set. Bullet ball, pinball, but the Waves get another ace, and that's it. Pepperdine wins 3 sets to none, as the team will congratulate each other. Waves winning 25-18, 25-17, and 25-12. Waves start the season 1-0, and for the Spartans, they go to 0-1, and a happy crowd will go on into the cool of night here in Malibu. As you take a look at the scores, unofficially, Pepperdine hits 500, the Spartans hit 088. And we take a look at the highlights in set 3. Being brought to you by University Credit Union. Waves again to serve very strong. Lamoureux tonight at 5 aces. Cole Hartke had 4 aces, as the Waves had a total of 12 bullets on the night.